Okay, I'm 11 seconds in, and I'll usually be talking by now. But woke up this morning thinking about pressure and just thinking back on a few situations. Um, can pretty much pinpoint where people had me messed up. The beginning of it, like where they had me messed up and where they, I guess, I mean, they could have doubted me, but I just don't care. It's like when you doubt somebody, you still don't try to put some unnecessary pressure on them, or you don't try them like that. Like, I don't know. I be feeling the type of way about certain people. Oh, he ain't gonna measure up to this. But I just never been that type to just be like, let me test them then. I guess I don't know if I'm thinking so little if it's like this. I'm thinking so little of myself that I'm not supposed to test people. And cause I don't be wanting to be tested. Like, I don't, not, I just don't. I know that God allows us to be tested and, even causes us to be tested, but I don't be wanting to. Like, I'd be feeling like that's not what I'm here for. But anyway, the situations I'm thinking about is, of course, from the beginning when the so-called neighbors basically had me messed up and thinking that I'm going to just do whatever they want me to do. I guess they may have been trying to do it in a subtle way or whatever, or just expected me. They wasn't making me, of course, but they was expecting. And, expecting that I was supposed to operate in the same manner as them or whatever. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm different. I'm younger, for one, and I'm definitely different either way it goes. Um, and I say that because I remember when the female tried to say, oh, well, my neighbors used to do such and such and this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, I wasn't even worried about the times we was in. I was just more so thinking, that's not me. You'll be all right. That's not how I operate. And so, yeah. And then the time when she thought I was going to just do her work and stuff like that on the computer, because I was computer savvy. And then one of my, at the time, I considered her my homegirl, but, one of my associates called in and we got to talking. And I took that as, okay, I'm not finishing this. That's my time to relieve myself. And she got upset and mad or whatever, and talking about y'all wasn't doing this, just putting stuff on me. Y'all ain't doing nothing but gossiping. Honey, them conversations was therapeutic for me to be able to vent and get my stuff out. And you're mad because are you mad because I got somebody that I can talk to? It was just crazy. And eventually, of course, I don't even talk to none of them no more, but I don't talk to them either, so it wasn't about them. It was more so about God getting me to myself. But I'm like, y'all ain't doing nothing but gossip. Girl, you don't know what you don't know if this is the conversation that I need to keep me from busting you upside your head. So it was just crazy. Like, I don't like the stuff that did. And like I said, I can pinpoint pretty much where everybody had me messed up. If I was on, I got a good memory. I could go back and I can remember where. I can remember, just like I can remember. I might not be able to remember it clear as day, as I can remember when somebody offended me or tried to. But I can remember when I did something to somebody. And so I can just go back and look, and it is what it is. That's when I just started to pay attention to certain stuff. And I did. My children came into the world, and I was teaching them, pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to what's going on. I don't want them to get so enthralled in it, and so invested in it. Because I just wish they didn't have to. Like, I wish you didn't have to feel like you gotta almost constantly watch your back and stuff like that. That you could really trust other people would do the right thing or do the respectful things. You know, respect your space, respect whatever standards you have for yourself, and even if you don't have, and boundaries, of course. But even if you didn't have them, then they don't just treat you like crap. If you didn't know, I'm just saying, if you didn't know well enough to have certain standards or boundaries. And so, yeah. So yeah, just pressure, pressure, pressure. That's what I'm thinking about this morning. The pressure oops, to even, I just want this stuff to upload. It's 2 videos. It's taking forever to upload. But I just want to, 92. We getting somewhere. Wanted to touch on, the fact that, again, I felt pressured when I went and I was, I felt some strong pressure, and I didn't think I was going to feel that or endure that or go through that. I thought coming out of that triumphantly. Okay, I knew that, I guess, if I fell again doing something, that my heart was going to be broken and this, that, and third. But I did not know that I was going to feel pressure to actually go through with something that I didn't necessarily want to go through with. I mean, I kind of, sort of, in a roundabout way, wanted an experience, but I didn't necessarily want to do it if I, like I said, feel like I didn't have to. But somebody had already basically warned me that, oh, everybody in a struggle. So basically try to proceed to pull me into a struggle. And it's like, I'm already in a struggle. I was already in a struggle. Like, the struggle was dealing with that person to begin with. Like, and I guess they didn't see that as enough. So anyway, yeah, pressure to feel like that. And I was never the type of person to think, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. I ain't gonna front and say I haven't been curious about some stuff. And thought some deep thoughts, and especially from watching TV and stuff like that, and thinking that certain stuff works like this, and then you get in and then you find, oh, that ain't it. That ain't what I thought it was at all. Ain't nothing glamorous about it. But that's why I try to steer clear of a lot of stuff. And it's like when I wasn't trying to make no mistakes or, deliberately doing something stupid or something like that, people look at me like, oh, what's wrong with her? Why she ain't? It's almost like it's why she ain't. They ain't. I don't know if they really said it, but it definitely gave the feel of why she ain't like us. Why she ain't. I even had dreams that said, why you still look healthy and stuff like that, and basically why you don't look sick or why you ain't. And I was just like, I felt like, Lord, is this the conversations that people is really having about me? This is the conversation that people really have about anybody. Like, you want somebody to look and feel sick and sickly and stuff like that. And then that's the thing. When you do me like that, baby, I'm pretty much show you what it is. Cause it's like, leave people alone when well enough is well, and basically leave well enough alone. Just because you don't know what's going on, learn to seek God. And that was always my thing. Learn to seek God, and He'll reveal to you what you need to know. Everything is not for you to need to know. And I had to learn that. And I guess tried to learn it at a young age. And the pastor that I was under, he taught that. He was like, God will reveal to you on a need to know basis. And then I got with that. That resonated within my spirit. And I believed that. And I agree with that. You don't, God is God, and you ain't going to be able to just pry no information up out of Him. You're not going to be able to manipulate Him and just get Him to do what you want. I definitely learned that the hard way, sometimes the easier way, but oftentimes it was the harder way. But when I was learning it the easier way, people literally got in their feelings about that. And that's what I be feeling like. Why are y'all so invested in my life and what I got going on? So what I do or don't got going on. And so yeah, like I said, I just never been that type that was, oh, the grass is greener on the other side. Now on the side, just like I be leaning almost more towards it, like something got to be better than what's been going on over here, because you know, and that's why I just say something. I don't know what is or if anything even exists, but like I said, it's almost like. But God even moved on me and told me, even with all that has taken place, I still don't need to be coming into agreement with everything, and especially the works of the enemy and stuff like that. But don't come into agreement with everything just because you feel that pressure. And I guess that's again, I learned the hard way. Because I was like, you know what, Lord, they pressuring me to do this. It's not what they calling you to do, but they pressured me to do this, and it was something that was already pretty much, I'm gonna say, in me, or trying to get in me or whatever. And then I just was like, I'm gonna go ahead. I almost want to say take one for the team, but honey, it's no team, because it's all them doing what, what I'm saying, again, conspiring against me and coming against me, because their minds be telling them, oh, what we missing out on. And so with that said, like, for example, if I didn't let my kids go certain places, because I'm taking care of them, I'm good. They don't need to be around everything. They don't need to be around everybody that's just because they call relatives and this and the third. And then start thinking that we're hiding something. Honey, we're eating, pooping, sleeping, and just having whatever family time we had, like anybody else should. Maybe y'all ain't, but like y'all should. And I mean, literally, ooh, what she got going on over there? That's how they get. They can know I don't have a vehicle. They can, of course, feel like and think, oh, she's at home all the time on her own. Not well on her own, yeah, because they wouldn't see a male here. But she's there all the time or whatever. What could possibly? I mean, started calling CPS because I homeschooled my kids, telling people that I illegally had my kids out of school. It was so far fetched to them, and I was literally getting these ideas and these things from God, where He was telling me. And then the pandemic came in, and I was like, we was already prepared, and I was thankful. So that's how I was living my life. And it was, sometimes it didn't feel fully satisfying, but it was satisfying because I was submitting to God. And I'm telling you, there's that spirit of sabotage and that spirit of destruction that wants to try to come in and wreak havoc and stuff like that. And so, even when I didn't have I don't even feel like, and I'm not saying that she didn't deserve, but I'm definitely not saying that she did deserve. Like, even when I branched off from seeing my now deceased grandma, my kids wasn't going around her. I wasn't taking them around her anymore and doing anything. And honestly, she started becoming that, like, a window for other people to try to see in. And she started going back and talking and gossiping and stuff like that about me. And that's when I was like, oh no, I'm not having that. I'm not. I ain't wish nothing ill on her, but I was just like, I'm not going to have that around me. And if we would have sat down and had the conversation, I would have told her that. I would have told her, I hear these conversations, or I hear it was voicemails being left and stuff like that. And, I never got the chance to, and I never felt the need to just call her up and say, why are you, because people they can't stand when you question them about something that they're doing. And I learned that definitely with my own so-called mom, where I asked her, what are you going up to my daughter's school for? I'm not answering that. I don't got to answer that. But then the week later, called me talking about, text me saying, her that my deceased now deceased grandma was in the hospital and that I needed to take my kids to see her and stuff like that. And I was like, girl, like I said, I didn't feel like she deserved to see my kids, and like I said, I wasn't doing it as a punishment either. So it was just something that I wasn't interacting with her. Why would I send my kids around somebody that I'm not interacting with? And so, of course, it ended up, I did that thing, and then where I allowed for the enemy a foothold, and then that's what opened up the door to them being able to go back around her. And I don't necessarily feel like they needed to be around her before she passed on either, to be honest. I know that's the traditional way. Oh, you need to go see them because they're sickly. And then sometimes people just need to go on and transition without other people around. Again, I'm not saying that in no harsh way. I'm saying that in a real way. Like, it just is what it is. That could be my case, you know what I'm saying? I really do hope that it's not, because I don't feel like I've been out here just mistreating people, but not saying that people who mistreat people is the one, but it could be. But anyway, it was that, and it was, like I said, I didn't feel like she needed to do that, and I still, until this day, I don't feel like my daughter needs to be aligning with, or feel like she needs to align with her so-called grandma. This is a person that I had a close relationship with, but when it was time to let go, God was equipping me and preparing me to let go and to move. And like I said, it came in 2007, 16 or 17, and then she didn't die until 2021. 18, 19, 20, 21. That's 4 years later. God literally was giving me 4 years to like be weaned off of being that close to her. and you know what? That's a good God to me, so I wouldn't be so heartbroken, when she was gone and stuff like that. And I thank God for that. Don't doesn't change that I loved her or anything. I didn't love her any less. It just was, that's what it was, and I really liked. It was satisfying living my life like that. It really was. Not having to fear or worry. Oh, is one of my loved ones gonna die and I'm gonna be how am I gonna be devastated? So that felt amazing to me. And I don't want nobody pulling me out of that place or pressuring me out of that type of place. And I don't be, at this point, I'm learning, I don't care how weird it is to y'all or how weird it seems. I have to get past that or whatever. I never really cared about that. I did care about the look of some stuff, and that's more natural stuff. But I didn't really care about the stuff of, I know this is my prayer life, and I know what's going on. Me and God know what's going on. Y'all don't gotta know nothing. I sometimes I got excited and I wanted to share. Well, dang, I had this dream where, but it would seem sinister because I've had dreams about knowing that people was going to transition or something like that, and he didn't necessarily show me a death, but it was spoken. Somebody was gonna die or this, that, and the third, and I didn't, and I took comfort in that, not because it's death, but I just took comfort in, okay, that's what God wants to reveal to me. He could have revealed to me, oh, somebody's going to live, and I'm going to take comfort. He did reveal to me that, oh, this person is coming into this earth realm. And I didn't take comfort in the fact of what it was, but I did take comfort in the fact that, oh, thank you, God. You showed me that before it happened, and that gives me somebody to trust, and it really happened. Gives me somebody to trust out here because I couldn't trust anybody. And I didn't like nobody. I didn't like plenty of people for whatever reasons. And now I understand a little more why. They really be out here trying to shake some stuff up and really control stuff. And so yeah, I feel like I don't to this day I'm not dealing with nobody on my so-called side, my bloodline or whatever. I don't feel like my kids need to be dealing with them. Period. It's a feeling and it's becoming a belief. Like y'all, they firmly need to be applying that. But I try to still allow them to be individuals, but as their mother, I feel like I got the right to make that decision. Like, no, don't deal with them. And and I mean what I say, and that's including my daughter, because I'm not separate. That's God dealing with me as far as just because she's not in the household, do not separate your kids, and just because she does not have the same so-called dad, do not separate your kids, because they have God as their heavenly Father, and so yeah. I don't deal with them, and I don't want, I'm like I said, I miss things that I used to experience with them and stuff like that. But I don't, not enough to give up what my intimate relationship with God, intimate personal relationship with God. I really don't. And literally, it be to a point where God don't even have to say, be careful being around them people, or give me some kind of feel of, you might not want to do that. Um, It's like you can, but you might not. And it's like he's saying you can because he knows that, oh, this is all you've known. This is what you knew when you came into this world. So I do give you that grace, and I do have mercy. I give you that grace so you can learn and understand that this is not um, the best for you, even though you came into this situation without basically my foreknowledge, without me choosing or anything like that. But I'm going to help you to. It's not even necessarily escaping the people, because I have to be reminded it's not the people, it's the spirits behind the people, and I really strongly have to be reminded it's not the people these days. And that's why I too wish that they can get outside of it and like. Don't be offended. She just doing what she gotta do. She doing what she believes she gotta do. And she is standing up for natural rights, but I'm standing up for what I believe in spiritually and my understanding, where God met me at. And again, it seemed weird to people. Sometimes it seemed weird to me because it was new. And it was, but it was a blessed thing. It was blessed things, should I say. Blessed experiences. And I'm telling you, so grateful. But, But yeah, so they get so offended, and it's like literally, and that's where you're not supposed to, you're definitely not supposed to get comfortable doing that, but you're not supposed to be doing that to people. It's definitely bullying. Oh, because we don't know what she got going on. Our mind is so, and it's like robbery and being a thief and stuff like that, or just, again, just it's breaking and entering, you trying to pry in so hard. That's so funny because at first I was not rocking with Carisha, with Young Miami, but I see it's so funny. She got Diddy talking about real bad. That is so funny to me. It's so cool and it's so funny because he started getting with her lingo, and he's like, yeah, I like her, and you know what I'm saying. And he might, honestly, he might be trying to find somebody to latch on to, especially because, you know, what's her name, Kim Porter died, and Cassie left him, and all this, whatever, whatever. But I just still thought it was cool because he's, you know, he got all this money or whatever, and he ain't. I'm not saying he ain't looking at her sideways. He might, but that was me, especially. Especially, I think, because they was the ones that was talking about getting flued out. But then, honey, I got with him like, okay, it is what it is. She thought it was flued out. It's, you know, fly me out. And, you know, I think that was them. Just, you know what I'm saying, the Ebonics and stuff like that. But he rocking, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he genuinely rocking her because to me, it's too soon to tell at all. And I just feel like he be having something up his sleeve. That's my feelings. But she seemed to be comfortable with him. And, yeah, he was like, yeah, real bad. She'd be like, we, something. I don't know if she said we go together real bad or something like that. But it was just, I liked seeing them interact. So, it's like, yeah, you know, just because y'all don't know what's going on over here, y'all don't understand it, don't mean. And you know, for a while I was like, oh, you know, the boy's a so-called dad. He gets me. He understands it. And really, it was times when he spoke to almost my soul, but definitely my spirit, and was like, you know, yeah, I understand. I know what it's like. It was like a handful of times, but even still, it was, that was enough for me because I had never came across nobody who spoke to me like that in that manner, and you know, seemed like he was taking the time. But just as quick as he seemed like he was taking that time, honey, next thing I know, it was like I said, interfered with, snatched away, and that's definitely a deal breaker for me. I just never liked it. You're not going to allow somebody else. Divine interruption, I welcome it, and I hope and pray that God, I would believe that God would speak to me and tell me, this is me. Don't you touch it. Don't you worry about it. But when the enemy is playing with it and he's allowing so many open doors and for people and third parties to interfere, I'm like, no, that's not good. You messed up such a good thing. I wanted to say potential good thing, but you messed up a good thing. Like that's not it. So it was like back to the drawing board, I guess, you know, and that's where I feel like I'm at now. And you know, I truly hope I never have to stroke his ego at all and feel like I gotta reach out and I need this and that. I don't want to. I'm still at the place where, Lord, I'm, I didn't learn my lesson. I don't want to mess with this dude as far as, you know, because that is a dude that I allowed to get that close to me. And you know how you can allow somebody to get so close to you and that person can find out so many, 99% uploaded, find out. That person can get so close to you and they can find out the deepest and maybe even the darkest certain things or whatever. And he did. And not that I wasn't transparent anyway. I was just that type of person. But they can find out, I'm talking about the deepest, darkest stuff, and then, you know, and then try to make you relive that and do some more of that or something like that, or just do something diabolical with it. You wasn't trying to help. You wasn't trying to resolve, or, you know, you was trying to make it worse and basically keep me stuck somewhere. And it's like, yeah, what? That's not what this is. I'm not gonna do that. I don't like that. So that's what it is about pressure. And while I speak about pressure regarding myself, just praying for especially my daughter, but all my kids, just that they don't cave to the pressures of life, the pressures of society, any pressure that I may unknowingly put on them, and Lord help me to not knowing or deliberately put unhealthy pressure on them. It's one thing to make them feel a little stressed. I don't want to make them feel, but you know, stress them a little bit because it's things that got to be done around here. But to just, you know what I'm saying? I ain't. I'm not saying that I want to really make it easy on people, but at the same time, I guess it's just in me that we were supposed to live the easy and simple life. So, why not try to, I can't create it, but you know, why not try to have an environment that cultivates that and that, yeah, at least gets the ball rolling just because y'all feel like, and I mean, like, not working hard, but working smart. as much as God allows me. 14:55. Cause yeah, cause that's what I want. Shoot, what did I do? That's what I'm on or whatever. But delete this video. But I'm feeling like I'm ready for a change and just trusting God. Of course, to me that change it doesn't. I want to work with who I got, but I still, I'm like, Lord, I really truly need somebody. Can you please help me? And send forth. Because I look back and I don't see where I had that ample. I see when it maybe in my childhood where I could have did better and stuff like that, where I wish I had better understanding and was able to make those better decisions as far as appreciating certain stuff when I was younger. Trying to think of like how to say it. Definitely appreciating it, like trips and stuff, being there, being in the moment. When I went to the beach and stuff like that, instead of thinking about somebody who I wasn't with, actually enjoying it and being there with family and stuff. And I can't get those moments back. And I know that probably affected them as well. Like, dang, we brought her here to a place that's nice and this and that, but all she can do is be sad or be. And it was times when I remember I just sat at the side of the pool, honey. I don't know. I don't think I was in trouble. I don't know. I sat at the side of the pool. How old was I? I was like 15. Sat at the side of the pool